My name is Chad Metters. I want to welcome you to LCC. I'm the Director of Advising and Testing here on our campus. What I'd like to do is make sure that you are feeling welcomed here at LCC. This is a new student orientation. Today we're going to go for about 90 minutes. And what I want to do is explain the mission of Lower Columbia College. Right? Our mission here at LCC is to ensure your professional and personal success. Right? And we want to influence lives that are local, global, traditional, and innovative. That's what we stand for. If you open up your book, your catalog, the very first page, you're going to see our values and our mission. Right? This is our motto. This is what we stand for. It's in the bottom page on the inside cover. Right? And that is what we stand for here at LCC. We want to make sure that you guys are successful and that we influence your lives in an extremely positive way. And on the other side, what we expect from you is to come in here prepared to learn, ready to ask for help, ask for the resources that you need to be successful. And in return, we're going to provide you with those resources. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to explain to you through my communication and through some video on what resources that we have to offer. And I know up front that you're not going to be able to recall everything that's brought up in 90 minutes. But what I can do is tell you that everything that we talk about is going to be in this book. And as a spring quarter student here at LCC for 2012, when you come in under this guide, under this book. Right? So we will hand out another catalog next fall. Right? But you guys are coming in under this calendar, under this catalog. Right? So if there's ever anything out that's disagreeing with this always is what stands alone. Okay, this is what comes first. So any information that I give you today will be in this book. So what I want to do is first I just want to give you a few tips. Right? A few things that I have found to be successful here at LCC over the years. Right? The first is researching your path. How many of you know exactly what it is that you want to study? Right? That's excellent. Right? How many of you know exactly how many classes you're going to have to take to get where you need to go? Right? How many of you know where your next spot is? Right? How many of you have filled out the academic scholarships, the FAFSA financial aid? Right? How many of you know the financial aid inside and out? Right? So I've got a few hands. We're going to give you a financial aid workshop, an opportunity to go to a workshop to actually understand the financial aid behind what we do. I'm going to give you a couple rules later today that's going to explain some of this stuff, but it's really just scratching the surface. Most of you are on financial aid, so I'm going to try to answer some of your questions, but at the same time, make sure that you spend some time identifying and researching your path so you know everything that's going to take place during your time here at LCC. Right? Understanding your obstacles. Right? Understanding the things that can get in your way. It could be daycare. It could be a vehicle or lack of. It could be the bus schedule. I mean, you guys know, and you guys can sit and think about all the things that occur in your daily life. And you could sit and you could probably prognosticate, probably guess, what are the things that are going to make it hard for you to be at a school on a particular day. Okay? So what I would ask you to do is identify those things up front and make a strategic plan for when those things occur to how to overcome them. School can be overwhelming. Okay? Life can be overwhelming. Okay? Once every month, okay, there's a day that I'm overwhelmed. Right? During that day that I'm overwhelmed, what I've done is found the 2 or 3 or 4 things that could overwhelm me on a regular basis. 12 times a year, to me, that's a lot. So I've identified 2 or 3 or 4 of those things that I could have a problem with, and I've gone through and tried to figure out how I could avoid those obstacles if they pop up. So I don't panic when it does pop up. It happens, and I sit there and I go, you know what? Gosh, this is ridiculous. Oh wait, I've already gone through and I already have a plan for attacking this now that it has occurred. You'd be surprised how much more at ease you are at getting through your obstacle once you've planned for it, once you've identified what it is. When you don't do it, what happens is you get a little overwhelmed, you panic a little bit, and it snowballs, and then the next thing's bothering you, and now every little thing's bothering you until you're completely overwhelmed. And now you're sitting there going, gosh, I don't know if I can do this school thing. Yes, you can. You can do the school thing. You just have to identify some of the things that are going to try to hold you back, and you fight your way around them. You plan ahead. Right? That leads into planning for big events. How many have planned for a birthday? Right? How many have planned for an anniversary or a special event for your child? Right? Any number of things. Do the same thing for school. Right? I can guarantee you right now you're going to have in every one of your classes, you're going to have a midterm, you're going to have a final. Right? You pull out that syllabus on the first day of class, you look at it, you identify when the big papers are due, you identify when the midterm is on, what day that's on, and you identify when the final's on. And then you set up on your calendar the days that you're going to go in and see tutoring. You plan ahead and you put in the days that you're going to go seek help, seek assistance. Okay. I'm also the women's basketball coach on campus. You'd be surprised how prideful those players of mine are of not wanting to seek help. Okay. They'll wait 3 weeks until they're buried, and it's their first 3 weeks on campus before they come to me and say, Coach, I'm struggling with this. And I say, well, why didn't you come to me a week and a half ago? And we could have really attacked it. Well, I thought I could do it on my own. No one can do college on their own. Right? Don't try. We have all these support structures put in place for you to be successful, so you can use them. We didn't put them in place so they're not supposed to be used. We know ahead of time that there's going to be roadblocks, that there's going to be issues, that we have so many resources on campus for you to use, and all you have to do is ask to use them and be able to know what they are so you can be successful. Too often, you hear from another student about this program and you're five quarters in that you have said, well, gosh, if I would have known about that, I would have taken advantage of it. So make sure that you plan for those big activities. Right? Stay positive. Simple thing. It's easy to do. Self-talk. Your mind's a literal thing. Your mind will take everything that you say seriously. Right? So if you don't do well in a test, you say, God, I'm bad at math. Right? Your mind only knows that you're bad at math. It doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't understand cynicism. It does not. So every time you tell yourself you're not smart at this, or you're not good at that, or you're bad at that, or you let somebody else say, hey, Renee says, Chad, you're not very good at that. I have a choice right now. I can either agree with Renee and say, you know what, Renee's right. I'm not very good at that. Or I can say to myself, I'm not going to go and say, Renee, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. What I am going to say to myself is, you know what? I don't think Renee's right on that. I might not be as good as I want to be, but I'm going to improve. I'm going to keep getting better. And right there, your mind will open up. It opens up. Right? Every time you say you can't do something, your mind, it attacks that. Right? So you have to work at being positive. And I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about what you say to yourself. So important. Probably the most important thing that we can talk about. You guys know it. You guys can talk yourselves out of anything before you even get to it. Right? Am I wrong? Right? You can talk yourself out of something that you haven't even tried. I don't like broccoli. Have you ever had broccoli before? No? Okay. Fish is probably a better example. I hate fish. Well, have you tried it? Tilapia is a wonderful cut of fish. You should all try it. Right? So the point is, don't lock yourself out of things. How many of you have a math phobia? Afraid of math? How long have you been telling yourself you haven't been good at math? Yeah, about 15 years. Well, finally your mind believes it. Right? I'm not as good at math as I want to be, but I'm going to work to improve it. I'm going to find a way to get through it. Just that simple. And then use your resources. Right? Do one thing every day. Do one thing every day to move towards the thing that you want to do. All of you have come in today and have a passion, right, about doing something here, about getting a degree, getting a certificate, going on into the profession that you want to go into. Right? Do one thing every day that's going to move you towards your goal. Right? Every day, if you work to it every day, you're going to be where you want to be at the time you want to be there. Just make it a list. I want to do this today. Last thing is relationship building. Right? Don't be that person that's running to your car every day. Right? You run into class, you sit in the back row, you sit down. I sure hope nobody talks to me. And Lord, please, I hope the instructor doesn't call my name. Right? And then the class is over, and you jump up from your seat, you sprint to your car, and you throw it in reverse, and off you go out the school you go. Right? That's not the recipe for success. The recipe for success is getting involved into a club, into a study group. Huge study groups. Be the person in your class to not be afraid to look around your class after your first class and say, hey, would anybody be interested in starting a study group? Huge. Huge. For two things. Relationship building. The people you meet in college are the people that you network that will help you on later in life. Right? And it's about creating comfort. Here at LCC, I want to, and our college wants to, create comfort for you. Because when you're comfortable, you're able to do. When you're uncomfortable, that's when things don't happen. That's when you procrastinate. That's when you put things off. That's when things don't happen in a timely manner. All I want you to do is do what you already know how to do. Right? And that is once you become comfortable, to roll up your sleeves, right, and go to work. Right? College is an 8 to 5 job. Right? The sooner you understand that, the sooner off you're successful. Don't be me at 18. College, it's break time. Hallelujah. Everybody's on my back. In high school, I got to go from class to class. In college, there's nobody on your back telling you got to do anything. The sooner you figure out that it's an 8 to 5 job and you've just put in a solid 8 hours, the sooner you'll find out you'll have all the success in the world. If you try to cut corners and you try to put a 4-hour schedule in place and try to get through, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. All right. So you take some of those things. If you could just take one of those things that we just talked about and apply that, right, then I feel like maybe I can help make a difference for you as you enter school or re-enter school after a time off. I'm so excited to have you guys out on our campus. Right? Welcome to LCC.